Hey everyone, welcome to the Bell Community Branch, and we're going to do a very quick update on some stuff that I've been working on. On a recent video, I showed you that how I made these rocks here, and I think it's kind of blurry. Ah, there we go. And these are carved out of the foam, and that is the main line, which still needs some work. I'm eventually going to have nicer trees, make better trees. These are some older trees that I have from past layouts, so I'll just put them there, stuck them in the foam for now, just to see the effect of what it'll look like. And it actually looks like kind of abandoned, and because of all the tree cover. But I'm gonna have ballast on there, and that bridge was painted and weathered by me. Also, the graffiti was handmade as well. And there's my cat Minnie. She's all excited and curious because she never saw the layout before. She's a very new kitten. Anyway, so here I added this part here, extended and made some more rocks, more scenery to be added here, some detailed stuff. There's a little shed that I got for like a dollar and weathered that up. Use that in an NMRA clinic for rust. Underneath is done in there. So there's some rocks. I had a recent video, like I said, I probably didn't finish that sentence, but I had a recent video that I showed how I did this scene. And along the tracks here, I'm not going to weather, well, I started weathering, but I'm not going to ballast our main line just yet, but just because of fixing some of the wiring issues and stuff like that. And here's a dirt road. I'm going to add some more gravel to this. And this goes up to, was an abandoned factory. This is an old model power kit that I actually will have a video of me weathering and upgrading this kit here. And I had this for years. I mean, years. And that's some weathering, it needs some more scenery. But that is going to be converted to like an office for the little scrapyard that's going to be over here. And that's old walnut ground cover, crushed up walnut, and I use that as ground cover here as dirt, and it's all natural material. Everything here is natural material except for some woodland scenics, blended turf and some green turf. And here, this Safeway building, it needs a new roof, but I cut the back off to make it fit. This I purchased while I was in California performing for an artist named Cameron Sierra. And Safeway was a grocery store in California that we constantly went to get some grub while we're in between gigs. And we fell in love, and I fell in love with the place. I found this building that someone made for like 15-20 bucks on eBay, and I bought it. And that's the actual color there, but we'll go to the other side of the layout. I'll show you what I did with the back side. And so this is going to be a Safeway produce warehouse with some reefer cars. On the railroad I work on, we have a industry called freeze in store, and we basically take the Union Pacific ARMN, our ARMN, Armin, the reefers, and we spot those. So this would be kind of a cool industry to have here, and there'll be some scenery back there, some more trees. This building here is one that has been on layouts in the past, even in New York. My dad built this. This is based off a old depot and station that was in Congers, New York, along the Conroe River line, and it was old green, and Dad decided to paint it a brown color, and I might repaint it into something else, and obviously upgrade it, weather it, and it'll be a depot that'll be for the railroad, like an industry. I mean, a maintenance of way department. The tracks are, they need some cleaning, need some wiring, so there's not much there. The only thing I added with the track will be all these switch stands that I had from other layouts, and I like those. Eventually I may replace them with some like old school but really realistic looking ones, but that's in the future. Oh, out of focus. There we go. Now, I had a buddy of mine who made this for me, and through just moving different places, it broke it broke in different pieces on the side, but I have the pieces. It'll be glued back. This was like a sand facility loader, making this into maybe grain loader. And I'm gonna have 3 spots here. Well, one spot, 1 car, but you'll have 3 cars can fit, and you just have to move them in and out of the loader. I may do something where, like on my railroad, you can spot 1 car, and then there's a goat that moves it. So maybe eventually I'll buy a goat and have it move. Sometimes they have cables, so there's cables with a generator, and it constantly moves the cars into their spot. And when their spot, our job is sometimes they can only fit 2, and then we'll move it out this way, and then we have to move this car here, and then, well, gotta put a wheel chuck under there. We put the handbrakes on. We can't put handbrakes on here and on the model, but yeah. But yeah, that would be pretty cool there too. And then this is the start of the dirt road or gravel road that goes underneath. And like I said, I have a piece here that I'm going to remake a piece here, and be trucks. So the grain or sand, whatever, will be lifted out of the cars and into the trucks through the building. I'll eventually have a nice truck for the industry there. And here in the foreground, I'll probably keep it pretty bare. Some vehicles, maintenance away stuff. Maybe a road. I thought about making a road or something like that here, but I like having this here as a nice view block. Foreground for scenery and for pictures and stuff. Because you go like here, this will, it look pretty cool. Over here, still working on the tank cars, and that will be a transload industry for tankers. I may purchase like the hoses and connectors, and I think that's going to be oil or corn syrup, and they have to be spotted. There's an industry on my railroad where it's 3 cars and loaded by truck. We have to spot them to the KCS or the Union Pacific, and they have to be spotted into 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes we have to pull 2 out and put the 3rd one in the 2nd spot so they can load it up in the truck. So that becomes fun for operations. Maybe a pain when it's 100 degrees outside and you're at work the whole day in the real life, but for model railroading it'll be fun. And that's another building my dad made there. And I'll be redoing that building. I don't know if it's going to stay there, but I really want to use it somewhere. It won't fit on the top layout, but definitely on the bottom. So we'll figure that out. And so going through here, let's see here. We're going to have a transload facility here where all these cars are at in the front. Just a variety of different stuff. It could be for lumber flats, maybe a caboose track, locomotive. Well, maybe the switchers will sit there and idle and stuff like that. The main line's in the middle where the V&O boxcar is at, and the South Brooklyn Railroad caboose from Big Bill from the Model Railroading Live show. He gave me that as a present for Christmas a few years back. And back there, this is the back part of the building that I weathered and painted and weathered and did some little graffiti. That's the back part of the Safeway building. That will go right here somewhere. And it'll be I'm going to have an industry where it's appliance, Ralph's Appliance Center or something like that. And we'll have 2 box cars for loads, and maybe a 3rd box car. I'm not sure. Maybe a 3rd box car for all the appliances. I'm not sure just yet, but I also like to use the coil steel cars too. So, like I said, I have some couple of high cube box cars. By the way, they're not as fun as people think working on the railroad. The shanks is so long, they get twerked to the side, and you have to move them by hand. You're like, oh my gosh. So yeah, they could be pretty fun. But yeah, that's what the layout looks like. And you can see by the lights here, I use some of this LED warm lights as just an ambiance. So I have the lights off everywhere in this whole entire building. Room. And so it's just here. And it'd be cool for like a morning, or just like a morning operating session. Also, I just ordered a few weeks ago some daylight LEDs, highlights, something like that. I forgot the name of the company, but Steve Brown from It's My Railroad. He recommended them, and so I'm going to try them out and use them as the actual light for the railroad. And underneath here, where my DVDs and my other collectibles, this is being cleaned up. I have some rope lights that one of my conductors gave me. It doesn't need the rope lights. I'm going to put rope lights underneath, so there'll be some ambiance under there too. But yeah, that'll look pretty cool here. Here's the whole collection of DVDs and magazines. Almost my entire research collection, and that there is about 100 pieces of rolling stock in those drawers. And so I like selling and upgrading and doing all weathering stuff. So yeah. So anyway, I'm babbling, but I just want to give you guys this look of the layout as it stands right now. Next thing is going to be finishing the wiring, cleaning the track, get this thing operational, and then start continuing more of the scenery and weathering some structures. Actually enjoy taking these structures apart and weathering them, repainting them. I missed that, haven't done it in a while. So guys, thank you so much. Again, this is Georgie with Touch of the Brush Model Weathering, and everybody knows. But welcome to the Bell Community Branch, and appreciate everybody support, and let's continue on this journey on creating this layout. You guys take care. Until next time.